I'll tell you, one community in Hanover County was without phone and internet service for several days last week, leaving students and workers at a loss. They couldn't send emails, they couldn't download files, they couldn't even dial 911. And without any advance notice from the service provider, folks in Montpelier were left completely unprepared. Just before the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve, Reservoir Distillery was preparing to wash its hands of the hand sanitizer business. But they were hit with a fee, a $14,000 fee that's normally reserved for drug manufacturers. Authorities say a porch pirate could be anyone, even just a passerby who thinks they're not being watched. Just in this evening, a Glen Allen man pleading guilty on federal charges, $1.3 million in fraud schemes, as well as the receipt of child pornography. It all started back in 2017 when Gordon Miller III was able to get a hold of approximately $1 million by falsely representing himself online, all as a way to keep his failing companies from going out of business. Yeah, that's right, Talia. Chesterfield police saw an uptick in overdose deaths last year. That's right in line with the coronavirus pandemic. And now with so many fatal overdoses in just 72 hours, Lieutenant Tim Kehoe tells me the department is sounding the alarm. Lime is the latest transportation provider to come to the city of Richmond, with 300 e-scooters already here and another 200 on the way. Now, the man behind the initiative, a VCU grad himself, says the capital city was a natural choice, making Lime the largest provider in the Commonwealth. The next time you pay at the pump, you may want to take the time to check for a skimming device. The Better Business Bureau says it will be inserted into the place where you'd swipe your card. So giving a little tug could help you avoid having your payment information stolen, like what happened to residents here in Chesterfield County. Friday's Douglas Freeman Deep Run matchup was about more than just football. Deep Run took the opportunity to honor one senior who couldn't be on the field with them, a fellow Wildcat who friends remember had the ability to light up a room. As the Deep Run Wildcats ran out onto the field for their senior night game, there was one person who should have been in the huddle with them, Gabe Henderson.
Gabe Henderson was one of our key players, and unfortunately we lost Gabe to a boating accident.
Head football coach Chad Hornick says this season the Wildcats are all wearing the number 10 on their helmet to remember the teammate who should have been there.
He was like a son to me, and so to not have him here is kind of a big deal.
Henderson was just a junior at Deep Run when he lost his life after a boat capsized on Lake Anna last April. Now the Wildcats are making sure they keep his memory alive.
We've got an angel with us this season, so we're just hoping we're going to keep impressing him.
Henderson had received several offers to play football in college, and now Coach Hornick tells me his teammates will continue to wear his number on their helmets all season long. Reporting in Henrico tonight, Olivia, Jaquith, 8 News. The coronavirus pandemic has brought issues of inequality to the forefront. Not only how the virus impacts those of different backgrounds, but also how education is adapting during this crisis. Now, in this case, lower income families might be sending their children back for in-person learning, not because it's their preferred choice, but because it's the only feasible one. In Virginia, schools get federal Title I funding if there's a high percentage of students from low-income families there. Harvey Elementary is one of 21 such schools in Henrico County. But unlike Title I schools in Goochland and Powhatan, there are many more remote learners than students who are in person.
Everything's done virtually, but it's so interactive. So hands-on that they're getting the full experience.
Principal Tanya Holmes says one of the ways they've been able to successfully engage so many students virtually is by offering experiences that students would normally enjoy in person, like bingo night and karaoke, but doing it all online. But learning from home raises another issue. What happens when parents can't stay home with their kids?
Being a working parent, I understand, I empathize with that. But also we have in a division where they have offered child care and at a lower cost. as well for our parents.
Though Holmes says teachers and staff in Henrico would rather get to see students in person every day, health and safety are the priorities right now.
Our teachers have done the best they could possibly do to make sure that they're trying to keep our boys and girls on pace, making sure they're still giving our boys and girls that full attention in all the instruction.
Technology can prevent some students from opting for remote learning as well. I take a deeper dive into this data from Henrico as well as other local school districts on our website, WRIC.com. Juan, Constance, a world of panic, parents scared for their children, and quarantines imposed by public health officials. We've been here before, and so has public health nurse Shirley Baca, who this morning became one of the first to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. As a young girl in Minnesota, Baca was one of the first to receive the new polio vaccine in the area. That's her in this old newspaper clipping. And yes, she was scared, holding her dad's hand for comfort.
Not really any pain involved or discomfort, but I cried.
According to the CDC, about 35,000 people per year acquired a disability due to polio during the height of the devastating outbreaks during the 1940s. Baca's uncle was one of them. She says he was in an iron lung, hospitalized for more than a year.
As a child, I said that the vaccine tasted good. The polio vaccine tasted good. But today, after receiving COVID-19 vaccine, I want to say that it feels good because it does give us hope.
Healthcare workers are the first to receive this COVID-19 vaccine, and then they're monitored for 15 minutes after the shot. But eventually, health officials say everyone will have their turn.
Just to, actually receive the vaccine after many, many long months of, hearing about it, of knowing how many people have suffered and died and families that have been affected. It's just very exciting that to have this hope.
Virginia expected to receive over 370,000 doses of the vaccine this month. Now, Kat Long with Richmond and Henrico Health Districts tells me that they're vaccinating about 100 people over the course of 3 events. But she says these events will be smaller than those happening in the future. For now, reporting live in Richmond, Olivia Jaquith, 8 News.